Spyder FX19 with an overall length of 19 feet 1 inch, a beam of 6 feet 11 inches, and max horsepower rating of 150.
This is the Spyder FX19 TRC, and yes, it's a flats boat, but it's got so many other features that we don't normally see in other flats boats that it really kind of stands out from the crowd.
Let me tell you what we did with this boat. We added species. We added new fishing trips to the mix. You understand what I'm saying? We started with a technical poling skiff. That's pretty specific. That's a rifle shot. Now we've spread out a little more. Now we can cross the bay. Now we can go fish for those redfish on the other side of the river. It's just a different feel to it altogether.
Well, what I like about it is it's a 19-foot boat, but they packed in so many other features that we normally see in the much, much larger boats, even in the bay boats. When you look at a 19-foot boat that has 3 live wells and a release well, that's something we haven't seen before.
We haven't seen that before, and we've never seen the ease of maintenance that we see with this boat. I can tell you one thing, we've seen a lot of boats that the guys that built them fish. The guys that built this boat have worked on boats.
Well, they really have. And then if you look at the way they did their rod holders under the gunnels, it's really, really unique. The fact that you can get to them without having to get on your hands and knees, but they're protected underneath the gunnel.
Well, what they've done is they've seen me snap off rod tips trying to work in the gunnel rod holders. This one, flip the gunnel up, lift them out. Oh, it couldn't be any easier. That's an idea that we're going to see explode onto the marketplace.
Well, let's start on this super, super large front deck, because for a 19-foot boat to have a front deck this large, I love it. If you and I want to get up there together and flip for bass or make long casts for redfish, we've got plenty of room to do it. We're not going to be each other's way.
Oh, you're right. You can fish 2 sides of a canal. You can, like you say, you can fish. One guy can throw surface lures while one guy's throwing a jig 50 yards out ahead of the boat. A lot of different things can happen on a casting platform that big. Follow me. There's some stuff on this boat I got to show you. Okay, here's the design that all flats boats should have on their bow. It's perfectly flat, you can't hang your line, tons of storage, tons of room, and a live well. How you gonna beat that?
Well, I can beat it one way, the fact that if I'm fishing by myself, I can't pole the boat and fish. They've left me an area up here where I can mount a trolling motor and it's already pre-wired, so if I'm fishing by myself, I can do it off the bow of the boat.
All right, we both know we love the big front deck. Let me show you what they did with these rod racks. Let me tell you what's hard to do. Hook a big tarpon up on that casting platform, step down, get around your lazy butt, step back up, and be back here. Make your gunnels wide enough to run down while you're fighting a fish, okay? And everybody makes below gunnel rod holders. Check this out. Just lift it up. How much easier is it to get a rod out of there than it is to bend over and try and get it? It's just one more thing that shows you this boat was designed to fish.
Well, also, too, you've got a big cockpit in this boat, but having the fact that you've got that open area underneath there, it just adds so much more room because it works like a big giant toe kick. The rods are high enough, you're not going to kick them, but in my opinion, it opens up the cockpit so much more than what I've seen in the boats that carry your interliner all the way down.
It's absolutely no problem getting around the console to get back to the back. It just makes it so much easier. It adds to the experience.
All right, you like the way they've laid out this boat to fish? Well, the boat builder in me likes the way they've laid out this boat where I can maintain it. You can pull this hinge off here. I can get to all my wiring inside the console. You can do the same with the hatch back here. You can get to your pumps, your wiring. You can get to your hydraulics for your power pole. It's just, it's easier to get to, it's easier to maintain. This innovative hinge that they've done on the front seat of the live well, I've never seen that before, but it makes it so much easier to get into there. All right, Rick, you know how when we talk about the big center consoles, they have the multiple live wells, and you're talking about separating your bait and how much you love it? This is the first flats boat that I've seen that has multiple live wells, not just 2, it's got 3, plus it's got the big release well that you were talking about earlier.
It's hard to maximize your space any better than that. And let me tell you what 3 wells gives you. It gives you the ability to live chum, gives you the ability for a man on the bow not to have to come all the way to the stern if he wants to get another bait, and it gives you the ability to take fish that you're going to release later, whether you're in a tournament or whether you want to show him off before you get him, whatever it takes, it gives you that ability, which is hard to do on a 19-foot boat. And one of the things that helps this boat get skinny too is she's wide for her length, which adds to the displacement. Actually, this boat floats a lot shallower than a lot of 19-footers do.
Well, 7 inches is what they're saying, and you know what, I believe it. If you look at the way the boat sits here, we've got it beached. This is a super, super shallow draft boat, but they put a lot of features in 19 feet.